Yeah, usually we don't do this on a Tuesday, but we got a little bit of time right now. So let's go, man. Let's go. Here we go. So the other live, we're gonna delete that one. For this one, we're gonna go ahead and delete this other one. The one I was gonna do on my mobile phone. I forgot how to do it to where I can. But what's up, everybody? Air Boogie's reacts in the building. It's a lot going on right now. You got a lot of people that's in an uproar. And so a lot of things are still looking skeptical to me. Like I'm gonna have to go out on a limb and say that this is starting to look like a tactic being used in order to just get people up in an uproar. Now I know we was talking about Memphis getting the memorandum from Donald Trump and what it'll look like in the future. Now, I have seen where Chicago, so we got, as you can see right there, if you're looking, there was something about Chicago in an uproar. We got a lot of stuff going on with like vigils where people are fighting and just hurting each other all over words. And it's starting to look like our amendments are at stake, people. That freedom of speech, people are targeting it and they don't understand that they're doing it, but it's definitely being done. And I think that will create an environment where, people might try to toy with that. People might try to toy with our right to freedom of speech. Okay. So here we go, man. It's a lot going on. We're just gonna react to it. I'm kind of getting fed up with how people are reacting to it, where we can't talk about how people feel about something without them being censored or being and once again, like I said previously, this was something that was taking place when Trump was in office last time. So it's just starting to look like a tactic being used by the people upstairs. Okay, let's go, man.
The police
that's been committed.
prevented.
But yes, you don't commit crimes in front of a police officer. Why? Because they will prevent you.
This one, but like I always tell y'all, I've watched these guys, so I'm gonna give them a run real quick. Let's go.
Because they're liberal crime stoppers. Have you heard of Crime Stoppers? Isn't it a show called Crime Stoppers where the police stop crime?
That's not a show. That's a system.
Okay, yeah.
Like in Lafayette downtown, I remember whenever I would see all the police officers on their horses, I would know I feel safer because I'd be like, okay, people aren't going to commit crimes right here because the police are right here and they are now actively preventing crime.
That might be the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Wow, I can't believe that shit. All right, guys, the White House posted this video, guys. We're gonna get into it because the young niggas in Chicago think they can go to war with the National Guard. That's crazy. But guys, this is a crazy story right here. I mean, hey man, the crime in DC has been solved because of this. I don't know how every city's gonna be solved, but Trump said it was 24 out of 25 cities are all blue. That the worst crimes in?
The top 20 out of the top 25 most dangerous cities in the US, 24 of them are ran by Democrat mayors.
Wow.
So I mean,
this is crazy.
Okay, so once again, there goes our narrative. You know what I mean? The Democratic ran cities have the worst crime rates. All right. So we already know that that's being pushed. But let's figure out what's the end game for this. Okay. What does it look like? Okay. The division is already here. The Civil War is already taking place on the home front. And you'll see it whenever I play these clips, okay?
That's a trend, right?
Listen to this. Yeah, obviously.
They got this old slogan out. They say, if you want to get away with murder, kill them in D.C.
Wow.
That's a slogan. That's a street slogan.
Whoa.
Every time I turn around, there's another shooting, there's a murder. In the district, they're killing and walking away with minimum time. See, D.C., they need everything that Trump is doing. I don't care what they say about him. Fix it. My name is Felicia Cook, and I've been a D.C. resident for since I was born there in 1956. On April the 23rd, that's when Marty went missing. I went downstairs, and he wasn't there. I said, well, I'm gonna call his job and see if he's been to work, because I know how excited he was about the job. And the people said at work that he hadn't been to work. When I hung up the phone, it's kind of like I knew something was wrong. Meantime, my daughter coming up here every Friday, and she going through everything he had downstairs. And she found out his last conversation was with some girl he had met on Plenty of Fish. He went to visit her, and he never came back home. That's all he was doing, was going on a date. That was it. He shot that boy 7 times. He overkilled him. Cold blood. He didn't give him a chance. My grandson was 23 years old. Just get his life together, man. My grandson's life did matter. And I live with that pain every day. What are you telling the victims? We don't matter, the criminals matter more. The Democrats didn't do it. I stood in front of the Department of Justice. I talked to Mayor Bus. They heard his story. They knew it. They saw us out there crying. Never did nothing. We have to live with this for the rest of my life. Ooh, I'm so glad. Somebody's finally hearing it. The man's doing something right.
This right here goes on in a lot of different, places in America. They want to label it a Democratic thing. It might occur more in the Democratic area, but a lot of black men have lost their lives this way by the hands of another man.
It's time for it. I don't care what you say. Be mad at me. Be mad at me. Somebody's finally trying to do something to make it better. You wanted to clean up? You wanted to stop? Let them kill us. No, you mean business. Thank you. Thank you so much. Because at least it brings some soothing to my pain to know that somebody cares. And somebody somewhere cares. And I don't want this to happen to nobody else.
Most definitely.
Damn, you know what the difference is?
That's powerful right there.
No, the difference is the Democrats post a video like this for the Maryland man or for the immigrants.
Yeah.
Simmons, he ain't gonna go to the immigrant house and show how sad it is that the family breaking up. They ain't gonna post this shit.
Even though he was caught sex trafficking.
He ain't gonna post this.
Human trafficking. He was human trafficking.
This is like this is what we keep on saying every time on here. Why would you be against stopping crime? Who doesn't want crime to stop? What law-abiding citizen doesn't want violent crimes and murders to stop? How do you in your right mind?
Why do we keep making this a race thing at this point? That the black people had something to do with this. That's the part where I'm a little confused. All right, salute to you, Russ. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Yeah, why do people keep making this a black thing? Like we were the ones that went and targeted someone and took them out. Where's that coming from? You know what I mean?
You benefit from
We
it.
gotta keep it 100. That was the best spokesperson for this issue because she's from DC, lifelong resident, and has personally been affected by it. She's seen the youth violence. Not only that, she's seen the black on black crime.
Like she said, what are you saying to the victims?
Yeah, what
You're
are you
not
saying to the
tough on?
victims?
What are you saying to
Shout
the
out to all the
victims?
watchers.
You care more about the criminals than the victims.
Got
We're gonna get into this
134
story, but
watchers.
it hasn't been a murder until this, guys, in DC. So they killed a random, how old was he?
21-year-old.
Make sure y'all
Student
study.
at
UMass
UMass.
student. Intern for Ron Estes.
Mile from the White House.
Killed him.
Ron Estes from Kansas.
Premeditated.
17-year-olds.
It can happen to anybody. We know he ain't do nothing wrong. We know he wasn't the opposition of these three guys right here.
I'm finna cut my hair. I hate that. I look
He ain't this, man. Let's just
Oh yeah, you will be racially profiled with them dreads, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So he's starting to feel it. You know what I mean? He's starting to understand how it looks. Because they always speak from a standpoint of that they've never had those type of experiences. With being black men, but it's real, people. We get stereotyped, we get pulled over, we get treated a certain way. I know as a teenager, I did a lot. I was harassed a lot as a teenager, and that was a subject earlier today. Like, hey, a lot of us when we was growing up, we got pulled over. They throwing, even if you argue back with them, like they can't put you in cuffs for that. You know what I mean? But they want to put you in cuffs for arguing back with them, knowing damn well that that's against your rights once again. So you can't just throw a man in cuffs, or you can't hurt a person just because they're speaking. So a lot of times that's what's taking place in these communities now. Let's go.
right now, man. This shit's crazy.
Suspects were targeting people who were riding bikes. In short, that they were a rival group that was riding bikes. In short, there were several surveillance cameras. They captured the stolen car the three suspects were in, circling the block before opening fire in the neighborhood. We know the police were able to track a location on that stolen car. That helped lead them to the suspects and surveillance cameras in the apartment building where they lived, including the night of the shooting, that helped track the suspects' movements and make positive IDs. According to court paperwork, a close relative of the Lucas brothers helped police ID them.
Trash humans.
This is crazy.
There's too much trash roaming among us. Oh, but it's because they're hungry. Oh, but it's because they didn't have opportunity.
And people say we just targeting black folks.
Two 17-year-olds and an 18-year-old.
Circling the block.
Oh, man. I mean, people are in the comments
They
not
call
saying
it
y'all gonna
spinning
stop
the
posting
block.
videos. Y'all gonna make me actually hate niggas even more.
I mean, but do we draw the line again?
I
Are
mean,
we gonna draw?
like, I'm not good. That's a strong word right there. Saying you hate niggas and you a nigga. That mean you hate yourself, bruh. Come on now. That don't even make sense. Let's go.
line at being mean, or are we gonna actually identify a pattern that we know and everyone knows is true? People like us because we say the things that everyone else is thinking but are scared to say. We're not scared to say it. If I told y'all what I never look at my Instagram DM requests. I looked at them today, and so many people have fake accounts, and they were telling me crazy things. But I do not care at all, because we do know that 56% of all murders are done by 6% of the population. That is an issue. That is where we must draw the line. Not at, oh well, some people might be offended.
Nah, I get it.
Not all black people. We never said that. We said blacks and niggas.
Okay, so why are we not? Why does no one think about us like that? Because we don't murder people. Because we're not thugs. It is an issue.
Okay,
we are enabling it by not calling it out. When you call it out, that is the best thing to do, I believe. When we do things to stop crime, I truly do believe this. What we do, I've prayed about this multiple times. What we do is the best thing for the black community, because it's telling them this is wrong.
Guys,
the music glorifies it. The people glorify it.
I'm literally the only non-pro-black person in my family.
On the right.
All my people, I have thugs, pro-blacks.
He's focused. He's dialed in, and he's trying to find another way to approach the content, I assume. That's what he always looks like when I look at him.
All that shit you think about black people, I got all that in my family. And I'm the only one that are just still saying the shit that I say on this channel every day to each one of them. Me and my father disagree with shit like this. He's pro-black, and I can't agree with the shit that he says. He think Carmelo Anthony getting off. I can't agree with the shit that he says. I said, you want no nigga? You my daddy. You raised me well. But nigga, politically, you're slow. You know how to make a little money provide for your family, nigga, but like the pastor say, you don't know the world, son. You can teach the black man everything. The nigga don't know the world.
We can't, I think that we care too much about feelings. We need to care more about...
Yeah, but then, we can go right to this, right? Let's go to this clip right here, people. This is for all of the people that say racism isn't there and, we're over-exaggerating. But this is a report coming straight up out of Mississippi. Here we go.
Authorities say the body of 21-year-old Demontravion Trey Reed was found hanged from a tree by a faculty member near the pickleball courts. Word spread quickly throughout the Cleveland campus, leaving students and others concerned and worried.
Well, because I am a black student, hearing that happened to another black student, it really made me feel, it's make me feel unsafe. I do have to walk to class, and I like to go walk on the track, and it would be...
I'm going to tell you right here, though. Yeah, they can say no foul play all they want. They're going to clean it up for the media. But we talking about Mississippi. And it just looks away. You know what I mean? Like, Mississippi, we know where they was hanging folks at. And it damn sure was Mississippi. All right? So I'm not even going to sit up here and play with y'all. I'm looking at Mississippi some kind of way. And it's always the southern states. You don't see people hanging themselves in goddamn the northern hemisphere of North America, the United States. You don't see that. You don't see it on the western hemisphere. I mean, at least it doesn't get reported, all right? But a black man being hung in Mississippi, come on now, man. No foul play my ass.
I have to know what happened.
Local and state investigators immediately started looking into the incident. DSU Police Chief Michael Peeler says investigators found no evidence of foul play.
But pending an investigation, further investigation, and also from the medical examiner's office.
Look at it, the hands, how they folded up at the podium. They all look in a certain way. Of course, they're not going to tell you that there was foul play, man. They know how this would turn out in the media, how society would react, that people are still getting hung in Mississippi. How many hangings in Mississippi that have they? I know they got Emmett Till, okay. M-I, cricket letter, I, cricket letter, I, humpback, I. Let's look that up. In history, how many hangings in Mississippi history? Okay, we can go right to it. We don't have to speculate anything. Okay. Sole method of state execution, lynching. All right. They don't even want to give you the numbers. They probably can't even verify all the numbers of how many people were hung. Okay. If it's not a person, it's a people. You know what I mean? It's a multitude of people. Oh no, here we go. How many people were lynched? NAACP got some type of information. I don't know if it's about Mississippi per se, but 4,743 lynchings occurred in the U.S. to records maintained by NAACP, which I ain't even going to, that's just a figurative number, okay? But it happens down there, people. We know that already. This is one of those things that occur. Why would I even think past something like this not occurring? in Mississippi, and it's a black man, a young black man at that. Just like Emmett Till, okay?
We won't have more information until that part has been done.
And members of Reed's family are insisting on a thorough investigation.
Please, 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 please do your research on this. Do not let them sweep nothing else under the rug.
What that young man just say, do not let them sweep nothing else under the rug. Okay? And I could only imagine how frightened people are down there right now. I heard it happened in North Carolina. You know, a guy was at a truck stop. They said that they gave up the same excuse. It's like, oh, they're all, you know, committing the S word, you know. And it's like, really? Young, thriving, strong, full of testosterone men want to just take themselves out of this world. But thriving, this guy's in college. The other guy was making good money as a truck driver. No, man. You can't just tell me anything, okay? The reason they're not going to make a big deal out of things like that is because they know how people would react, okay? What up, Selena? Appreciate you pulling up. Only 6,500 white men got hung, too. Man, I ain't even talking about them. I can almost guarantee that more of our people were hung than their people. All right?
Enough is enough.
University President Daniel Enos says the discovery left him heartbroken as he extended his condolences to Reed's family and friends. He added DSU would help students, faculty, and staff with the grief.
We thank you for watching, and remember,
Sad, man. Then we got this, all right? This is fresh off the press, if you haven't seen it already. And we're going to get this to you all, you know. Now, I got this piece of this media right here, per se, is from TikTok, but you can research it all over YouTube right now. But we have a black woman. I don't know if she's a paid actress. I don't know. They say she's a student at Texas Tech, and she was arrested, cutting edge in the building. She was arrested, and she put her hands on no one. All she was doing was speaking. Let's go. Now, she was out there looking a fool. I ain't even gonna lie. She was out there looking a fool. Now, I'm sick of some of this shit, all right?
Silence! I can't take this shit no more.
Like, some of this shit just don't make sense, okay? But let's go. Say what, T-Mac? Then it's a you problem. You want to take facts in. Well, listen, all I'm telling you, T-Mac, is that even if the number is real, bro, I think our people are a little more afraid of being hung than it sounds like you're a white guy or biracial. I don't know. But it sounds like your people not too worried about being hung. I think as of recent, Mississippi, a black man was hung. A white man was not hung. How about that? Is that fair? Was that true or false? How about that one?
Evil is real, people, and it kind of looks like that. Evil.
Hey, I already said too. White men, black women right now. That's right now, it's white men, black women. They going at it right now. All over the internet, all over the country right now.
Murder is bad. She is evil. Why are you being so hateful?
Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you not put the camera in my face?
I'm sitting here. You walked up to me.
Okay, well,
I don't want this. I said rest in peace.
Okay, and I can
just leave it alone. Please don't come after me. I
want
to be left alone.
I'm not emotional, ma'am. Don't tell me what I am and what I'm not. You can get out of my face because I can tell you what you are, but you won't like it.
You're being aggressive. You're being aggressive.
I'm not being aggressive. My voice is very calm. You're calling me aggressive because I'm a black woman.
Not at all.
No, we're not.
Yeah, it's easy, man. It's easy to, get a person for something like this. And we're not going to go too long tonight, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Let's keep going, though. Here we go with some more freedom of speech aggravation.
Now you can stream Fox News Live.
No, see, I didn't even want to go to Fox. Like, y'all taking it too far now, Fox. Come on now. Give me the let's do this.
This guy's gonna get fucked.
So this one I was watching on someone else's channel, and yeah, man, people like the guy said, man, are you gonna go out in this crowd full of people that's chanting one thing? How would you react? Hit the chat. Let me know. Oh my God. Hey man, listen, let me tell y'all something. Yes, and I mean, look how they're standing around. Look how people standing around in this situation. We got 444 people watching, man. Let's get the subs up, man. Let's get 200 new subs, man. Let's go. Oh, and where's did I drop that in the and if you want to support the channel, we got a link for you all. If you're feeling kind and generous, you know. Here we go. Let's go. Fuck yeah! This is wild. And this is freedom of speech we're talking about. We're talking about people being beat on, trampled on, all types of shit just over freedom of speech. You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking about someone attacking you and then you react and you attack back. No, we're talking about men and women so aggressive, so angry, so bitter about a man being assassinated that just because someone expresses themselves in a manner where they don't care about his death, they're being targeted. And like they said, man, they're gonna side with those people that's standing out there. You know, the majority will side. The police will side with the majority, of course. It's just the way it goes, man. It's like it's like a function.
We're on this with Mark Thiessen, Fox News contributor and a former speechwriter to George W. Bush. So, I mean, people from all walks of life losing their jobs because of these vile posts on social media. I mean, clearly celebrating violence reflects some sort of sickness in America. Yeah. And I'm wondering, is that just being reflected on social media or is it being driven by social media?
It's probably a little bit of both. I mean, I think back to the October 7 terrorist attacks, and many of us, I think you or I, were shocked at the level of anti-Semitism.
So company policy is going to affect the way that people can speak and interact with others in public. Okay? This is what we're talking about. We're talking about people losing their jobs, people being whooped and beat on, all types of acts now at this point because they're speaking. But I thought that was an amended right.
That came out. It was like we had lifted up a rock and all these anti-Semites came scurrying out, exposing themselves, celebrating the death on October 7th, celebrating the Hamas attack, calling for the death of the destruction of Israel. And it's like, where did all these anti-Semites come from? Mm-hmm. And I think it's a very similar phenomenon that's happening here, which is that after Charlie Kirk's assassination, a lot of these horrible people have come out of the woodwork and exposed themselves as truly hating conservatives. It's not that they disagree. One of my kids, you know, the interesting thing about Charlie, he had such an influence with young people. This was a news event where my kids told me about it before I learned about it. And one of my kids said to me, you know, they want us dead. I think there's a lot of young people who are looking at, and they see it's probably even worse than the polls because they're experiencing this on TikTok and other social media.
So there are some celebrities
who wants who dead though? Who are they? You know what I mean? Who are the they? We don't want you dead. I don't want you dead. I don't give a damn what political party you stand with. I don't want you dead. So why is that being pushed to the American people?
Are doing this. But for the most part, these are people who nobody knows who they are. And yet they decide to sit in their car and share their most intimate thoughts on TikTok, as vile as those thoughts are. What's driving that? Is it the addiction of social media? Is it some pathological, narcissistic desire to be noticed? What is it?
Yes, I think you've nailed it on the head. And what I found fascinating was the first day after Charlie's death, you saw all these people posting these messages, and then the next day they went out and posted these videos complaining about getting fired. It's like, what do you look? The First Amendment. What do you expect to happen? I mean,
you're glorifying violence.
Imagine if we didn't see this on the right, but imagine if after the George Floyd killing, people had gone on and said George Floyd was a POS and like that. I'm glad he's dead. I hope all black people get killed. I think we need more death of black people in this country. And like that, I'm glad.
Hey man, we couldn't even talk about we can't even talk about someone's death without them bringing up George Floyd, right? But bringing up George Floyd, his death still gets mocked, okay? People still mock that, and they freely get to do it. Black people don't react no type of way, okay?
He's dead. I hope all black people get killed. I think we need more death of black people in this country. Do you think anybody would have employed them ever again? No.
Companies don't have to associate with them, but companies stepping out of their corporations to go monitor your media, don't you get offended by that? Wouldn't you get offended by that? Wouldn't you get offended by people going onto your social media and just because you stand with a particular political party, you'd be targeted? Get that person out my chat. So you say hi and then say I'm so uneducated. How do you know what type of education I have? It's called common sense, man. Get that person out my chat, please. Yeah, yeah, but see, that's the thing. See, you want to give your power to a corporation. Shame on you. I don't want to give my power to a corporation. Okay? I'm not giving up my God-given right to a corporation to speak freely in the manner that I feel I was given. All right? So that's you, man. Have at it. But we going to talk about it. And we definitely going to talk about it. But that's what's wrong right there, man. See, we want to see America used to stand for something, but now we just want to give over all of our rights to the corporations, to the government. We want to give all of our rights to, to things that shouldn't be, basically. We don't want to stand with amongst each other and fight for anything no more. We just want to give up, That's what it sounds like when you're giving up. So if you're giving up, give up, man. But I'm not, all right? Let's get them subs up, man.
You celebrate an assassination, you're going to get fired.
So you should. It's interesting that social media is becoming much more callous. People used to hide behind the anonymity of screen names to say they're vile and hateful things. Now they take their phone and they do a selfie video about it. They post it under their own name. Yeah. It's like they don't care if they're anonymous or not anymore. They're out there spewing this rhetoric and they're putting their name.
So they want to shut us up so that they can speak, so that Fox can speak, so that MSNBC can speak, so that CNBC can speak, ABC, NBC. They want to give you the news. But when you come get it over here, I'm uneducated. Come on, man. Y'all really can't be. That's sad, man. I ain't giving up my rights, bro. And anybody that, feel like they should give their rights up, then have at it. But I don't have to do that, man.
What has fundamentally changed?
Well, first of all, I think some of them are regretting it now because they're finding out that they're no longer employable. And by the way, it's not just like this is not a problem just on the fever swamps. These are doctors, nurses, college professors, teachers. One of them was the head of a school, like a superintendent of a school system. I mean, these are the people who are responsible for caring for us when we're hurt, for teaching our children, for educating the next generation. And they're celebrating the assassination of somebody just because they didn't agree with. And by the way, somebody who treated them with so much respect and humanity, despite.
And that's another thing. So now this is sparking. Oh, I thought I did, but if I didn't, let's go ahead and do it. Let me see. But a lot of people don't really be chatting per se, but let's go ahead. I have to find it. A lot of people, they'll give up their right, but I'm just not, man. I'm gonna talk about that shit. We need to be talking about that. People want to, hide it and. Oh, why are you speaking about this? And you're not qualified to talk about these types of things. Why not? You don't have any common sense, common knowledge. You don't know what the hell going on around you. Let's see if we can find it real quick. Hey, listen. I don't identify with the left nor right.
The difference is one of the things that distinguished Charlie is that he went and he treated everybody with respect. He went out and wanted to engage people who disagree with him and affirm their humanity.
Okay, so there's all these calls to lower the temperature, right? You got John Fetterman saying you got to stop calling conservatives fascists. You can't do that. I just want to finish off with this. Randy.
Okay, so look. So let's just think. All right, we're getting the subs over here. So let's just say how can I put it? Let's just think about it. All right, I'm getting a lot of reviews and stuff right now. My bad.
Weingarten from the American Federation of Teachers is hosting a seminar tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern time, Teachers Against Fascists.
It's unbelievable. You know, it is a problem. There is political violence, but it is a problem on the left.
I'm getting texts and I'm doing a lot over here.
A poll asked, do you support using violence against people for political beliefs? 9 out of 10 conservatives said no, they don't support that. Almost a quarter of people who say they're very liberal said yes, and another 20% say that they weren't sure. Almost half of people who consider themselves very liberal either support or are indifferent to political violence. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, and the younger generations are the ones for whom it's most acceptable, which is really frightening. Mark, always good to talk to you. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.
Hey, man, I'm telling you right now, all of the tactics that's being used against us, people can identify with that if they want to, but we'll slowly but surely see what's truly going on around us. Okay? So it seems as if there was an agenda. So we're gonna bring out someone's, oh, don't worry about my expertise. I'm reacting, bro. It's my channel, man. Come on, man. Now you getting a little too emotional, man. You ain't got to be that emotional, bro. All right, so you got people reacting to the fact that a man was assassinated, right? With that man being assassinated, that created an uproar. Now the right wants to blame the left wants to blame the right, okay? But then we're gonna sit up here and we're gonna target black people because of these acts. We're not gonna point out the fact that the alleged shooter was a fair, white-skinned looking man, okay? We're gonna go all the way around that to act as if those people are not the ones out here targeting people in public, sniping them down and shit, okay? So to make it as if someone has to be an expert to analyze that, and my brother, you are sadly mistaken. Okay. And let's drop that. Let's put this back where it goes. And I was trying to pull up where the Chicago National Guard was being brought up, but they said that they weren't going to do it. How could they go back on their words like that?
Mr. President, how will you send the National Guard into Chicago without the cooperation of the governor and mayor?
Well, if they do cooperate, that's good. If they don't, it's not going to matter to us at all. You know who wants to help us? Police department. They have no respect for the governor. They have no respect for the mayor. They respect us. And we found that in Washington. You know, we haven't had total support in Washington from government, as you know, from everybody. I don't want to say the mayor because she's better than most.
Yeah,
but
skin has nothing to do with this, okay? Skin color has nothing to do with this, right? But why has it become a subject then? Why all of a sudden is the National Guard being deployed? Why are black people being targeted in crowds? They can't speak. Even the guys that do speak up against situations like this, they can't speak it. They can't speak either, okay?
we haven't had
without being targeted. Okay, people are being targeted just because they're speaking out against something, just because they might not agree with them, or they don't care if a man died. The people that do care, you can hear them talk. As a matter of fact, and I think I played this yesterday. Here we go. Hold on, heavy. Let me show you how this man is talking.
Folks, a big thank you to Attorneys on Retainer, a longtime partner of mine, for attorney-client privilege. Like we were talking, have conversation over.
Go watch
Well, it's
Heavy
really
Duty
easy.
Country.
There, here.
Oh,
I
that
don't want
was-
to talk with anybody who calls
yeah, that
himself
shit
a pronoun
scared the
warrior.
shit
What are your
out of me.
pronouns? I don't know. What does this weirdo say in this TikTok?
Do you use they, them pronouns for a singular person? Well, it's really easy. All you have to do is use it the same way that you would talk about a group of people. So, for example, I, Addison, use they, them pronouns. In that case, you talk about me like this. I know Addison. They are amazing. Their dress and their hair are amazing. And I'm so proud to know them. Now,
The fuck? But just so we're all on the same page, I've always been a fan of peace. I have always been a fan of leaving everyone the fuck alone, letting them do their own thing. But when you insert yourself into our business or you kill one of us, you're kind of leaving us no choice. And this is exactly what I mean today. There is a streamer out there by the name of Destiny, and this dude is the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen on the internet. I don't know how this dude is allowed to stay on the internet. Now, that may seem weird to people because of freedom of speech, and let me tell you right now, I am the biggest supporter of freedom of speech. But what I'm talking about is people get banned all the time. You know how many people got banned because of talking about COVID, giving their opinion on it? But no, this guy can go on and make legitimate threats. Listen to this guy.
Not exactly like. You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear.
Okay, so who identifies with conservatives for the most part? I'm gonna go out the way and say that you've got your white guy, working man, family, your Christian, right? But who do they like to identify as the Democratic Party? The black man, black women. Okay, that was a big conversation last year when Trump was running for office. They were worried about where the black man was going to place his vote. You know, which side was he going to side with? Okay, so you can question it. You need to question it. I already understand. You know what I'm looking at.
Like, I don't know. It's like memes. It's just memes to everybody, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't care.
But
I'm
I'm
playing games. Okay, I'm done today. I don't give a fuck. God, it's gonna be so fucking gay if I get killed in the next fucking 2 months of shit I'm doing. Well, the cucked shit out here. Please don't anybody make any actual fucking the most cucked, weak ass, fucking bullshit ass speeches on my side. God, if it happens, holy shit, I'm gonna make a death note before I go out to go live and not. God, it's so cucked.
So here's the other thing about Destiny. He is one of the biggest shit talkers on the internet. I mean, I'm surprised he's a liberal. You usually don't find that many people who are like this on the left. What do you recommend we do after hearing this? I see people taking clips of my videos saying, oh, he's calling for civil war. He's being a civil war propagandist. What else should we do? I keep saying this, but do you want to talk to me?
What did he just say? Civil war propagandist. Okay. And who would be on those sides? I'm just gonna go out the way and say black and white. Okay.
Because I'll get on your Twitch or whatever the hell else you're on, and I'll debate you anytime. Like, why don't we have a conversation? It's kind of weird that we can't do it in person because who knows, maybe you guys will try to snipe me. But let's just have a conversation, a real conversation about how this would go in person. Because you're sitting there talking a whole bunch of fighting words. What if somebody on the right said this about y'all? Oh, the left, they've got to be scared wherever they go. You know why he's saying this? Because the left is already scared. You guys are scared to death of us. Not because we're some pussies who just off people randomly. It's because you guys know what we're capable of. Here he is saying that Charlie Kirk would be alive if Donald Trump wasn't president for the second term. What a stupid thing to say.
I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump should have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald.
Oh, George Floyd would be alive if Donald Trump wasn't president at the time. What a dumb thing to say. Oh, Osama bin Laden wouldn't be alive if this president wasn't in office. Are we gonna do what ifs our whole life? I mean, that's the left's thing. Then he goes off on this one guy saying,
So the one thing I do understand that this has become a subject, right? People are starting to protest more because Trump's in office. He's on the right side. Okay. And then on top of that, people are not siding with Trump on the left side, and they're saying, well, they're being extremely radical. And they're out here targeting conservatives. So that's the conversation.
that he's shameless for sitting there and trying to talk kindly about Charlie Kirk's family. So what do we do now?
I mean, Piers, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this type of ideology.
Yeah, I understand that you might not judge color, but the propagandic part of it will be that they will put us against each other.
Like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erica, who's been standing strong for her family, for her children, who's just, she will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able to be with them again, have more children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them. It's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch." And now you have people celebrating it And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying
oh,
about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut
shit,
up.
you're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my god, you're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting piece of shit. Holy fuck.
What a pedantic. What a pedantic.
Are we?
What a
Are we
It's not
even gonna do
pedantic.
this?
The guy's a fucking professional.
It's total
Are we
pedantry.
gonna
It's
do
total
this?
pedantry. Total
Are we gonna
pedantry.
do
I would
this?
like to let
Jesus.
Jack, I would like to let Jack finish his point, please.
Yeah.
Like, are these not fighting words? This dude is like the dude on the playground who would sit there and antagonize people, and then when people were ready to fight, they'd be like, "Oh no, it's okay." It's like the Gavin Adcock and Zach Bryan situation. Gavin Adcock talked a whole bunch of crap about Zach Bryan because apparently Zach Bryan didn't sign something for a 14-year-old, and then I guess went off on her online, which I think he's fine to be called out for that. But Zach Bryan didn't take it kindly, so he went to go fight Gavin Adcock, and Gavin Adcock ran off like a little pussy. There's no other way to call it. The dude hopped
Hey
the
y'all,
fence.
welcome back to the party. It is me, Girlbert Reacts, and today we're going to react to some more Charlie.
So when you say we want 40%, by definition, then you have to discriminate against a certain group to get another.
Hey, I'm not spewing any rhetoric. Here we go. I mean, and this is just a random click, right? Because I've got other sources where I could just, pull it up, but sometimes I don't jot that stuff down because I can just go through it, right? Okay, but
Hey y'all, welcome back to the party.
if that wasn't the case, then why would a man speak in the
50% all of their airline pilots to be women or people of color? Why does that matter? Number one, because I want a qualified airline pilot, not a person of color airline pilot.
Understood.
So you agree. But number two, there's only so many airline pilot jobs. So when you say
I'm
we
not
want
trying to prove anything, man. Just enjoy yourself, or
Going and grabbing some random person of color and saying you therefore qualified. DEI is about considering other qualified applicants.
Well, let's take airline pilots. United Airlines wants 40% all of their airline pilots to be women or people of color. Why does that matter? Number one, because I want a qualified airline pilot, not a person of color airline pilot.
Understood.
So you agree. But number two, there's only so many airline pilots jobs. So when you say we want 40%, by definition, then you have to discriminate against a certain group to get another group to advance, right?
Understood.
Because there's not unlimited amounts of spots for airline pilots or
But it is racial, though. I'm not saying that I hate white people. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, okay? I'm not telling you that at all. What I am telling you is that there has been racial tension in America. I can't look past that, man. For you to look past that is okay. But I would be lying to myself if I look past that, all right? And I only got a few more minutes anyway,
traffic control or surgeons or whatever position. So when you say that we want to have a quota, then you have to say we're not going to prioritize a certain group.
Okay. I enjoy these debates because I feel like they are done very well, very respectfully. For the most,
the tension comes from the working Americans, the poor Americans, the impoverished Americans, the well-off Americans. It's been placed inside of our psyche to look at each other and judge one another and create these statistics and these all of the things that we can look at and judge a person and be prejudiced about, So it's not just like it just fell out of the sky, man. Come on now. For you to ignore that is fine, but I can't do that. And I'm giving you a lot of attention, so I can't keep doing that. Come on now, man. You're doing this on purpose.
part, there have been some people who stepped up to Charlie and been like nasty or condescending, or like they stepped in being very defensive because they just wanted Charlie to be wrong and not even have to hear what he had to say. But for the most part, I find them to be very respectful. I find them to be very balanced. I think Charlie does a good job of allowing people to speak. Like he said, he apologized for cutting the guy off. He proposes really good questions that I think make the
no problem, man.
The person on the opposite side of the debate really have to think, and in turn, you either are coming forward to the microphone prepared or you're not. And within one or two questions, Charlie can kind of expose if you're prepared or not. I think this young man is super prepared in the way that maybe others haven't been. I absolutely believe there is privilege. I think there's white privilege. I think there's pretty privilege. I think there's skinny privilege. I think there's rich privilege. I think there's celebrity privileges, all kinds of privileges. The thing that I am starting to realize for myself is that a lot of these privileged experiences, be it pretty, black, white, celebrity, income privilege, whatever it is very indicative to the people or person that has experienced being on the other side of that privilege. So where numbers, science, research cannot prove it or doesn't prove that these things are even an issue or they actually exist, i.e. Charlie's side, I think a lot of times the people that are on the side of there is privilege and whatever that looks like, they have had, witnessed, seen, whatever, been in contact with very specific, very, not one-off, but like you would only run into certain...
So let's just say that let's just say that having a privileged mindset is a victim mentality. Then once again, that has been placed there by statistics, by a particular race, okay? It's called the and let me pull this quote up from Israel Cohen is his name, okay? Because I think that once we identify it, then we can be honest about it, okay? And then I'll get up out of here, you know. No, I'll keep playing it.
Situations, being in certain circumstances, certain areas, certain demographics. That is what I feel I'm starting to like understand, because I don't think I do think that DEI creates more space for more segregation, because it's saying instead of focusing on everybody, we're going to focus on this certain group of people, which in essence is what they're saying DEI was created for, but it really is then it's still excluding. It's still an exclusion. And so, but I also understand what this young man is saying. It's like, well, but it's not to exclude, it's to include. But what it has ended up doing is still exclude. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I go back and forth. Sometimes I hear good points on both sides, but I just think that, in my opinion, there is all types of privilege. And I do think there are people who encounter privilege because of the color of their skin, depending on where they're walking into. There are people who encounter privilege because of the way they...
Straight up, bro. Slow motion as usual. I got it. All right, here we go. We must realize that our parties, and after this, I got to go, man. I'm sorry. And I really appreciate everybody rocking. I appreciate all the new subs. I've been doing y'all thing with your boy. Keep it going, man. Uh-huh. All right, here we go. We must realize that our party's most powerful weapon is racial tensions. By propounding into the consciousness of the dark races that for centuries they have been oppressed by whites, we can mold them to the program of the Communist Party. Keep that in mind, you know. Take that with a grain of salt. In America, we will aim for subtle victory while inflaming the Negro minority against the whites. We will endeavor to instill in the whites a guilt complex for their exploitation of the Negroes. We will aid the Negroes to rise in prominence in every walk of life, in the professions, and in the world of sports and entertainment. With this privilege, the Negro will be able to intermarry with the whites and begin a process which will deliver America to our cause. And this comes from a small hat, all right?
Look, or the size that they wear, or if they are in name brand clothing, or if they're not. Like, there's all types of privilege. I just don't think that everyone encounters them, and so then it's easy for people to say it doesn't exist. That's my take. I don't have to be right in your book. You don't have to be right in my book, but that is like the conclusion I've come to. But okay, let's get back to this conversation.
A quota. This is Brit Reacts. So shout out to Brit Reacts, man. Make sure y'all sub up to her as well. But even Charlie Kirk was extremely vocal in how he felt about race, you know. But when a black man is talking about race, we gotta allow a black man to talk about race, especially in America, bro. Because I know that reparations conversation came up with Charlie Kirk, and I know that touched a lot of people in a you know, it affected the way that they viewed him, okay? I had nothing to do with that because I'm fairly new to what he's got going on, but we're not going to skip over that is all I'm saying. All right, make sure y'all sub up to the channel, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, most definitely. Share the content as well, man, you know, talk about it amongst your peers, your friends, whoever you got that you love. And make sure you hug your loved ones. Let them know how much you love them. Tomorrow's never promised. It's your boy L Boogie Reacts. We up out of here, man. Appreciate all the love. And just like that, we gone, man.